I have this thing where I get nervous about like recording. It's like, what the fuck are you nervous about? You're just talking to a fucking computer. I had to like sit there and get myself pumped up, like, oh yeah. I'm like fucking Fantano in that one video where he's like, it's a
That's a
thick
thick
ass
ass
boy,
boy.
damn,
Damn.
bah,
But
bah.
bah.
But like I can't really scream because I live in a house with a bunch of people. I don't want them wondering why I'm screaming about thick ass boys or whatever. I was randomly thinking about random words and terms that really piss me off and that I hate. And I was like, that could be a fun, small little video to do. So I was compiling these terms. I talked to some people to try to get ten good ones I could talk about. And here we are. Most of them don't really matter. It's not a big deal or anything. They're just kind of innocent little internet terms for people to have goofs and gaffs and laughs about. But I still felt like it was something I just wanted to get off my chest because I have opinions, damn it. I have opinions and I must have them be known. For a couple of days now, I've had this as my Discord status, and so that's the first word I really want to talk about. Quality slop. I don't really like the term slop in general. I think there are cases where it's very fair to use the term, like with AI slop, definitely. I'm like, yeah. Or like just bullshit corporations shit out that are like $1 billion that no one gives a fuck about. There's no real artistic intent to them. But then it gets to the point where you're just calling anything slop just because it's something people engage with. So quality slop is one of those terms that really gets my goat. Really peeves me off, dude. Because it's like, are we really to that far of a point of not just being honest to our feelings and what we enjoy, that we have to belittle things of actual quality to just calling it quality slop? And I know the term's a joke. I know it's mostly used as a joke, but I've talked to people online. I've met people who don't take what they like seriously. Not like I want people to be overly serious and draconian about what they like, but it gets to a point where people are like, what I like is stupid, it's just dumb, it's nothing, so I should just, it's all slop, who gives a fuck? And it's like, no, you should have confidence in what you like, even if like it quality wise isn't the best, or it is super high quality stuff. You should have pride in that and enjoy what you enjoy and be honest with yourself about what you enjoy about it and why you enjoy it. And to add a point here, I mean, I sometimes make fun of stuff I like, so that's not really what I'm talking about here. What I mean are people who take that to heart and genuinely belittle what they like because they like it and feel like it's not worth taking serious. But yeah, quality slop is just, it's just one of those things where I see it, I roll my eyes, and I'm like, really? We're calling quality slop now? Is everything just MI slop? I think this next term kind of goes hand in hand, but it's not like a new age internet term. It's just a word that's always existed. But I feel like it's more the use of it that pisses me off than the actual word itself, and it's pretentious. I hate how much people just throw the term pretentious around. They'll call literally anything with any modicum of depth or like actual engagement pretentious. It's like, oh, you gotta think a little harder about it. It's pretentious. People call like shit like swans pretentious. It's like, it's not. Like, it comes from such a genuine creative effort and place, and I feel like people just don't actually know what pretension is, like what it actually is. I'm like, listen to any Penelope Scott album. That's kind of more close to like something that's actually pretentious in nature. Because the thing about pretension, there's an immaturity to pretension. So most things that are genuinely actually pretentious are stuff that comes from a very immature and unhonest place. And I feel like if something is truly creatively honest to the intentions of the artist and of the thing they're making, then it can't really be pretentious, at least in my view. And that's kind of why I hate the term pretentious, the way people use it now. Anything you have to engage with on a deeper level gets unfairly coined as pretentious. It really pisses me off. I hate it. I hate it so much. The next term is something that's just me being kind of petty. It's honestly not even that bad in a vacuum or anything, but every time I hear it, I get a little like, ugh. I hear I'm like, ill. I don't like that. And it's to boot. I don't know why, but every time I'm reading something or listening to something, they're like, it's this and this to boot. It's like, ill. To boot? I hate that. I just don't like the way it sounds. It's not even a serious thing, but just I've genuinely been confused on why it bothers me so much. I've been trying to reach deep into my inner soul, digging and digging to try and figure out what it is about to boot that bothers me so much. I was even talking to my girlfriend about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't like the term to boot. And she's like, okay. Very understandably confused about my grievances with the term to boot. I was like, I don't know. It's just something I hear it. I'm like, ill. And I wonder if other people have words like that where it's like it's not even anything, like there's no substance to why you dislike it. It's just the actual phonetic sound of it that bothers you. You'll have to I'm curious, someone will have to go down in the comments and be like, yeah, I really hate the term yucky, you know, or something like that. Because to boot is mine, just my very surface level, very shallow, I just hate this term for the way it sounds, you know. This next one though, this one's actually serious. This one is a big thing, and every time I hear it, it upsets me deeply. Sus. I hate sus. And not like Among Us sus, you know, not like, oh, you're sus, you vented. No, not that. I don't care about that. I hate when people use sus as in like something that's vaguely gay. I hate it. I think it's disgusting. I think it's very close-minded and very immature when you're like, you just say anything. It's like, oh, bro, that's stop saying that sus shit. Stop being sus like that. It's like, sus of what? Being gay? It's like, yeah, because I am. Like, what the fuck? It's like, what do you want? I don't know. Sus is one of those things that really pisses me off because it's this whole. I get most times people use it. They don't actually have anything against like gay people. They just don't want to be perceived as gay, or they want to acknowledge that they don't mean something in a gay way. And it's like, okay, who cares? It's like, have more security in yourself. Don't be so insecure. And then on the flip side, is like it gets to a point where it's generally like, okay, are you just being homophobic? Like, is anything gay just sus in your view because you don't fuck with gay shit and you're just being a homophobic asshole? It's like it's weird to me. It's very weird how uncomfortable people get about anything that's even a tinge fruity. Because it's like, does it actually bother you, or are you so insecure about your own sexuality that the idea of something being slightly gay around you, you're afraid is going to turn you gay? You know what I mean? It's one of those things that genuinely bother me. I'm like, if I heard my friends say that, I'm like unironically, I'm like, dude, you gotta grow up and cut that shit out. That's like things only like teenagers, like people in high school and middle school should be saying. That is not something you should be saying above the age of 18. I'm just saying. The next term, this one's a bit more. There's a bit more nuance to this one. I feel like this next one, there's more depth. So I don't know how long I'm gonna talk about this, but I have feelings about the term lolcow. Had to take a little water break. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm the editor. I don't have an editor. I'm the editor here, and I typically remember all my little bits of my video, so I don't need to be like, "Oh, this is my water break. Cut this out." But yeah, lolcow. It's just weird to me. The whole lolcow sort of subculture, because sometimes it is people who deserve to be made fun of for making such spectacle dumbasses of themselves repeatedly online. Like that one guy who faked having cancer or whatever, I think it's like Boogie or whatever. When it gets to that where people are just being repeatedly terrible people and they're putting that online completely unaware of how like idiotic and evil they're being, then I'm like, yeah, that's when people call them a low count and shit. I'm like, okay, that's a bit fair because they're making their own hell essentially. But there's a lot of people who get labeled as low cows and stuff where I'm like, that's just more sad than entertaining, you know? It's like these people are very mentally ill, struggling with stuff, very unaware of themselves. When it's people who actually struggle with some sort of mental illness or mental deficiency, it comes off a lot more sad than funny. And I feel like the people who are super obsessed with these lolcows and who do all this research, picking every single moment of their lives apart that they post online, I feel like they're equally as deranged and mentally fucked up as the people they're labeling as lolcows and picking apart. It's just this very weird kind of parasocial, very parasitic, very parasocial sort of interaction that's really gross to me. So it's more so the actual ethos of it than the actual term lolcow itself. But it's just one of those things where someone calls someone like online a lolcow. I'm like, are they really like someone who deserves to be made fun of? Are you just making fun of someone who's actually going through some shit and it's just actually very sad and not funny at all to watch? It's actually miserable. The next term's another one that's like not even that big of a deal. I don't have that deep of feelings for it, but it's still like it's just one of those things I shake my head and I'm like, if you're above the age of 18, you're unironically using this term. You gotta check your priorities, man. And that's chopped. When I hear chopped, it's usually like, oh, this person's so old. They're so chopped, man. They're so chopped. They're so old. It's like someone who's like 30. It's like, really? 30 is old? Like we're calling people chopped because they're aging. It's like you're aging. Look at your fucking self. You're gonna be 40 before you even know it. And you're like, shit, am I chopped? I hope not. If you're 40 and you're using the term chopped, holy shit. Would be the saddest thing ever. It's another one of those very immature things that just like kind of just makes me roll my eyes. I'm like, ugh. It's kind of jejune, very childish. I can only imagine children saying it, you know. So I don't like chopped. I don't fuck with that one. That's one where I'm like, okay, you're either a kid or you gotta do some growing up, man, because what the fuck is that? Like sus, this one's actually a problem. Like this is something where I'm actually like, I have opinions on you as a person and your character if you're using this term unironically in the way that it is used today. And that's the term woke. We all know it. We all love it. Anything is woke. Anything that doesn't have a straight white man is woke. And it's very sad. And it's even funny because the term woke was like a word for the black community back in the day for just like being socially conscious and aware. I'm all for bringing woke back as that, like bringing it back to a positive connotation because in its new form, in the negative connotation by all of the weird fucking right leaning weirdos, you know, it's like it's so embarrassing to just call anything that has someone different or any sort of messaging woke. And I'm like, the people unironically truly using that term are the same type of people who voted for Trump twice thinking it was actually a good idea. It's just sad. It's just embarrassing. And frankly, it's pretty cringe. And I even hate to use that word seriously because it's like a very deductive way of commenting on things, but it is just like in the words of folding ideas.
Cringe. There's no other word for it. This makes me cringe. It's embarrassing.
And I think the thing about the term woke is that there's so much anger in it. It's not just a thing where it's like, oh, it's just people being silly and inflammatory. It's like people being genuinely ignorant, racist, homophobic, etc., etc. Just being any sort of awful bigot. It genuinely, if you use the word woke unironically, you should look a bit deeper inside and think, is this thing really bad, or am I a bad person who just hates anyone different from me? You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, there are pieces of media that are fake woke and pretend to be super inclusive and have a message, but they're just cynical products that a company is trying to push on people. But the people using the term woke in this context, they don't really care about that. They'll probably pretend to care about that. But if you're using woke as an actual piece of media criticism in a negative connotation, you're just being very ignorant and stupid. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with agenda as well. People are like, oh, these things, they have agendas. And it's like, what? The agenda that people should be able to live how they want to live? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, yeah, there are agendas for everything. The whole point of art is pushing an idea and message. Like, have you never watched anything with an actual theme or a moral? It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, of course it has an agenda, but they use it like it's this covert brainwashing thing. And it's like, no, it's not. You're just stupid. You're just really fucking stupid. I find those terms like the woke, the agenda, all that type of shit very just frankly disgusting. It's just like a bunch of people who are angry that people different from them exist, and they think everyone, all these different people are out to get them. And it's a very weird, paranoid, sad way of living to where it's like, I can't watch anything with gay people. I can't watch anything with a black person as a lead because they're trying to push it on me. They're trying to force it down my throat. No, dude, you can watch something else if that's truly how you feel. No one's forcing you to. And a lot of the time, they try to like bring on these people who can't think for themselves because they use these very low hanging fruit of bad media to make their points. They'll be like, oh, the new Star Wars movies, they're so woke and that's the reason they're bad. When it's like, no, they're just bad movies because they're made by companies who don't care about actual good writing. They just want to make a profit. And it's like, no, they're woke and that's what's ruining it. And it's like, okay, you're just an idiot. Anytime I hear someone unironically use any sort of term like woke or agenda in the conservative way, I just instantly tune out any other opinion they have because I could tell they're not genuinely engaging with a piece of art on its own merits. They're just a bigoted and ignorant asshole. Next one, Sigma Alpha. Honestly, I don't even know what the fuck Sigma is, but when I hear it, it's my old person moment. Hearing Sigma, that is my old person moment. I'm like, these kids these days, what the fuck are they talking about? They aren't making any sense. I wish we can go back to the old days. But I just think that whole sort of sphere of thinking, the whole Sigma Alpha sort of manosphere shit, you know, anyone with a functioning brain would. I think those fears are frankly very sad, very embarrassing, like the woke thing, like the agenda thing, like the sus thing. It's just these people who are so disconnected from reality and other people that they just think every problem they have is a result of people just wanting to live their lives, not harming other people, instead of like the powers that be fucking them, which is what it really is. They have to make every other excuse than, hey, maybe it's the people in power, the people who run the government, the companies and big corporations that are fucking me. No, it has to be the gays and the trans that are making my life so miserable. It is why I can't get a girlfriend, because all these fucking feminists and shit like it's shit like that. You're so disconnected from reality. You don't have a girlfriend because you're an unlikable motherfucker. Like that's why. That is why. So they come up with these whole things like, oh, I'm just a Sigma male. I just have a whole different way of thinking. I'm all about me, I'm all about the business and shit like that. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? And it's interesting too, because it's the sort of thing where they're very like capitalist minded, very conservative minded, very traditional family values minded. At the same time, they're like, oh, fuck all these women. We don't need women. We have the bros. We have each other. I'm just focusing on me and my career. When it's like, okay, but what about the family values stuff? And then when they do have a girlfriend or they do have some sort of woman that they're intimate with, they're treating them like shit and not like as a person. So it just gets to the point where these terms get diluted to the point that like normal people are using them without really thinking about their origin and what they actually mean. So I just see it out in the wild. I'm like, you do realize like Sigma Alpha, that comes from like a deep seated place of misogyny and ignorance, right? I mean, yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a funny word, Sigma. It's hard to take seriously. But at the same time, I just see it. I'm like, ugh, now I gotta think about those people for a few minutes before I move on. And then the last one, I don't really like the term film bro, honestly. And the reason I don't like it, I think there are fair criticisms for quote unquote film bros and that side of the internet and that side of media criticisms. It's like the same sort of people who would use terms like woke unironically to critique something. But the reason I really hate the term film bro is because I feel like movies with actual depth and substance and a lot to say get lumped in with that sort of crowd. Would you call Rambo a film bro movie? That's a movie that's so overtly anti-cop and anti-military, at least the first one. I don't think that really fits into the sort of caricature we're making up in our heads, you know what I mean? Even in a movie like Pulp Fiction, there's a bit more depth and nuance to that than it just being like, oh, the film bro male fantasy type of thing. I feel like a lot of these movies that get lumped in are unfairly catching flack for the sort of crowd who really get into them, when it's like, I bet so many people who use the term film bro unironically and make fun of these movies and make fun of these people haven't even seen any of those like classic critically acclaimed movies. So they're just leveling criticisms at stuff they haven't even engaged with properly. And don't get me wrong, like I said, there are very fair criticisms to be had about the film bro movies when it comes to their relations to masculinity and the male fantasy, and how a lot of them portray women in very backwards, not deep ways. I think there are a lot of fair criticisms. I also think there are a lot of people who are just conflating things without actually engaging with the medium behind it. What a lot of these terms connect to, not all of them, of course, but a lot of them just connect to this big thing online and in the current day and age where people don't actually want to think about things. There's a big movement of anti-intellectualism going on. I was watching a video with Fantano and FD Signifier called When You Completely Miss the Point, and I felt like, oh, this is like a Kismet moment, because a lot of me thinking about these terms is connecting to a lot of what they're talking about with the current climate of media criticism and this whole big thing of anti-intellectualism. People just don't want to actually emotionally, honestly engage with art and and the themes and the politics and the messaging of it. They just want to ignore that because it's easier to ignore that and not actually thinking deeply about things and reflecting on yourself and your own intelligence and your own sensitivity towards things. It's a bit sad to see. I hope with this video people could just think more about things, not treat everything like a big meme or a big joke or a bit. Sometimes it's okay to be cringe. It's okay to be embarrassing. It's okay to be genuine. It's okay to be honest. It's okay. Once you're actually engaging with something, actually honestly, intellectually, with nuance and actual thinking involved, you get a lot more out of stuff than if you just shut off everything else and just monkey brain it the whole way through. So yeah, that's about all I have to say. Bye. Take care.